Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to take any photo you already have and make a really cool kaleidoscope image out of it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up an image and then make sure your image is a JPEG. So if you're going through your Lightroom photos, you're going to have to export it as a JPEG. So don't forget to do that first. So now that I have my JPEG image opened, I'm going to go to the crop tool. And then mine's already set because I just did this, but you want to set it to 4 by 4, so it is a square. And then you're going to look around your image for some interesting patterns, shapes, textures, because remember these are going to be repeated. And you can zoom in as much as you want. So I'm going to try to make this one look different than the last one. So I'm going to do more of that blue. Okay, and I'm going to press enter. So now I have this nice little square image. So the next thing I'm going to do is open up a new document that I'm going to paste these into. So I'm going to go to File, New, and then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to call it 8. Oops, and we want to make sure it's on inches. 8 by 8 inches. So we're making a big square. And then we're going to make it 300 pixels an inch so we can print it in good quality. And then make sure your background is on white. Sometimes it'll be on transparent, so make sure it's on white. And then you can name it if you want. I don't know how to spell kaleidoscope, so I'm just going to put K. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to go back to my little pointer tool or selection tool. If it ends up on crop, just make sure you go back up here. And then I'm going to add in some guides. So I'm going to go View, Guides. I'm going to go New Guide. And then there's a horizontal and vertical option. I'm just going to start with the horizontal, and I'm going to type in 4 inch. And then you can make it whatever color you want. I usually leave mine cyan. And then I'm going to go View, Guides, New Guide. Then I'm going to go to the vertical, and I'm going to go 4 inch, and then again, it's just cyan. You can leave it whatever you want. Cyan's easier to see, I think, though. I'm going to go okay. So now I have this nice little grid. So I'm going to go back to my original image up here, and I'm going to hit Control A, Control C, and then Control V, like violet. And then as you can see, it's super big. So I'm going to do Control T, and then I'm going to make it a little smaller. And then I want it to fit in this square. So what I'm going to do is do Control plus to zoom in, and I'm going to make sure it is right on that square. And then I'm hitting the space bar to move it, and that looks all right. I'm going to do Control minus to zoom out. Actually, do a little Control plus one more time. I'm going to be a little bit picky about this. Okay, so now it looks good. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to do Control minus to zoom back out. So now I need to duplicate this. So I'm going to go down here to my layers panel. If you can't see it, there should be something up here where you can see your layers panel. So if you can't find it in class, just let me know. I'll help you. So I'm going to take this and drag it to that plus to duplicate it. You could also hit Control J. And I'm going to move it over, and then it should click into place. And now I need to flip it like a mirror. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. So if I move it horizontal, I flip it horizontal. So now I'm going to do it again. So this time I hit Control J to make a copy. You can hit Control J, or you can drag it to the plus. 2 ways of doing the same exact thing. So I'm going to drag that down, and then it should click into place. So now I moved it vertical. I need to flip it vertical. I'm going to go Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. All right, so I need to do this one more time. So I'm going to do it the other way this time. I'm going to hold the layer. I'm going to drag it to the plus. I'm going to move it over. I'm going to go edit, transform, flip horizontal because I moved it horizontal. All right, so now I have kind of a kaleidoscope, but it's not quite there yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to view, show, sorry. And I'm going to click off the guides so I can see, I see there's like a little white line in there, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to like click and try to move it so there's less of a white line. That just means I did not get it completely correct that first time. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I'm clicking on that layer and I'm using my arrow keys right now. Okay, so this one. And those guides show up because I didn't erase them. I just hit them. Okay, and then it's like between that one. I see it. So I'm going to go that layer. Now I'm being extra picky. If it doesn't bother you that much, it'll probably be fine. And we're going to end up fixing it at the end. But I want to get it right the first time. So you should have something like this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to highlight all these layers. I'm going to hit the top one, hold shift, click the bottom one. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to flatten. So once I do this, it all becomes one image. So make sure any adjustments you want to make, you make them now. Ta-da! All right, so now that it's flattened into one image, I'm going to make a copy of the background. So I'm going to drag this to the plus, and I'm going to turn off the eyeball right here. So this is going to be in the background, but we're not going to see it for now. So I'm on my background copy. I'm going to go up to the left underneath my little selection tool, my pointer tool, and I'm going to go right here to the polygonal lasso tool. So if you don't see this, if it looks like something else, just kind of click on these and it's right here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to cut a triangle out of this. And you can cut your triangle this way. Oop, press escape. Or this way. So look at what's most interesting. This has the little paper that's kind of making an interesting pattern. This has all the little icing that's making an interesting pattern. I'm just going to do it from the top this time. So I'm going to click in that corner as best as I can. So Control plus. No. There. And then now, oops, I forgot a very important thing, guys. Sorry, I don't want to remake this again. So I'm going to go to Show Guides. Ding, they're back. So I'm going to click in this corner. I'm going to click right here in the middle. And then I'm going to, I need to zoom back out, so I'm going to Control minus. And then I'm going to hold Shift. And then you can see it like hold it right there. And then I'm going to go hold Shift and it should click and I should get some marching ants. So now I have my marching ants. This is my selection. I'm going to do Control Shift I. So Control Shift I and then delete. So Control Shift I, delete. And then you should be left with a triangle. So now I'm going to do Control D to deselect. And now I'm going to do the same thing as I did last time. I'm going to make copies of this triangle and then I'm going to rotate them around. So I'm going to go back to here. So make sure you're not still on your tool. If you are still on this and it makes a weird line, just hit escape. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to drag it down. Remember, you can drag it or you can do Control J. Two ways to do the same thing. I'm going to move it. I'm going to go edit. I'm going to go transform. And now though, I'm going to rotate clockwise. I'm going to take this and try to fit it into place. So if you see like a little white line, I mean, it's not that big a deal. We're going to fix it later. So again, you can do Control J or just drag it down. Edit, transform, rotate clockwise. Boop, I just messed with my guide. There we go. Let me put it down there. So like this one I didn't make as good of a selection as last time. Oh well. And then I'm gonna go here, edit, transform, rotate clockwise. And then now I can like go back and click, and I'm just using like my arrow keys to kind of like fiddle with it a little bit. But I'll show you how we're gonna fix it. I'll see if maybe you guys can figure out what I'm gonna do. So kind of just adjust it a little bit. Adjust it a little bit. So what you can do to fix it, so kind of get it where you want first. There's like a little white line. Oh my god, that's annoying, isn't it? You're just going to turn the background back on. Boom, it's gone. I like this one. So I didn't know if the paper would look good like this, but I like it. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to go back to view and go to show, and I'm going to turn off the guide so I want to see it without those lines. And now I'm going to flatten my layers. So you can just right click and flatten. Before I just had you select them all just for practice. So you're going to right click, flatten it. So now it's one image. And you're going to go to File, Export, because we want it to be a JPEG. Export as JPEG. Make sure it's just all there. We want high quality. Export. Name it. I remember I just named mine K because I don't know how to spell Kaleidoscope. And save. Ta-da! Alright, so do what you want. Find a few photos that you like. Practice. Some of these come out really, really cool. I had a kid do an AP portfolio with these once and it came out really, really nice. So if you have any questions, ask in class. Good job.